Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio. Ours is a place where dreams take flight, voices are heard, and stories are shared. This is where cultures meet, connections are formed, and ideas are transformed into action. This is your destination for authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives, and meaningful conversations. We're where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover our world of education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our USA Global TV channel and download our USA Global TV app. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. With heartfelt thanks to our executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, music scored by Yifei Tang from Cloud Road Music, creative direction by Paul Garcia, and I'm Al Cini, and I'm very proud to be part of the USA Global TV and Radio family. So join us here at USA Global TV and Radio. Make us your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication, or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited. Thank you for being a part of our global community. Let's inspire together.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where we provide world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative in partnership with E360 TV. Today's topic, I'm really looking forward to sharing this topic with you and exploring it with our wonderful full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fujiris. Our topic today is Stuck Yet Moving, Navigating the Stress of Life on Hold. I'm Caroline Heward. I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be representing Dr. Jacqueline as your host for USA Global TV and Radio's flagship show, A Woman's Prerogative. I'm a TV presenter and the resident therapist for USA Global TV and Radio. A very warm welcome to our loyal viewers and our friends at E360 TV and our usual friends on our usual social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Dr. Jacqueline, who's the founder and executive producer of this channel, she has been recently awarded the coveted Silver YouTube Creator Award for achieving over 106,000 YouTube subscribers. We have over 106,000 YouTube subscribers on the first channel, and on our second channel, over 36,000 subscribers. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We are really welcoming your loyalty and the fact that you stay with us. Tonight's show, we are joined by a full-time panelist, our wonderful Reverend Lydia Fujiris, and she comes from Canada. She is a TV presenter in her own right. She has her own show, and she might tell you a little bit more about that when she comes up. She is an author, and she is bilingual self-help author. She's a registered nurse, a holistic nurse. She's also an intuitive and spiritual healer. She invented Miracle Mist, which is patent pending, and she is an advocate for free rights. Please welcome our wonderful full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fujiris.
Hello, it's nice to be here.
It's wonderful always to share this platform with you and this space, because we have some very interesting explorations and conversations. Please do share with our viewers, Reverend Lydia, a little bit about what you do.
Well, what I do is that I help with immigration. I do help people integrate Canada. And as a spiritual healer and a reverend, I help people that have problems with love connection, breakups, whatever, to understand what goes wrong and actually get over a problem that has to do with love and find love again, because it is possible. So I do help people. I have invented a new incense, actually, that is called the Perfect Mate incense, and it does help a lot. So I do pretty much work with chakras and with crystal bowls. So I celebrate weddings. So that is why I'm so much into love. So thank you.
I love it. Thank you, Reverend Lydia. And for me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and I help people bust their stress. How do I do that? I work with root cause therapy and chakra psychology, how the mind and body is connected, and what happens to the person physically, emotionally, mentally, behaviorally when there's an imbalance. And the imbalance is the symptom, what they're complaining about. So it might be a relationship issue, it might be a physical ache and pain, it might be something like anxiety, depression, or stress, or not sleeping. Whatever it is, that's what's creating their discomfort and their dis-ease. Disease breaks down to dis-ease, where the body is dis-eased rather than diseased. I also help them break through and identify the root cause by using a very simple process and working with their blueprint to literally obliterate their symptoms. I also do lunch and learn talks online and face-to-face. And I help people, it's more of an education, more mentoring education rather than coaching. So they come to me with a problem and I offer a solution rather than going down the normal coaching method. And I'm also the resident therapist here on this channel and Talking Heads expert, one of 5 prestigious Talking Heads experts on the channel. And I've been with the channel for over 4 years now. There's me just in the corner down there in the blue. And I'm very proud to be on the channel in terms of the Talking Heads experts because it's the value and the education that we offer as a team. And now into our topic. Stuck yet moving, navigating the stress of life when on hold. We all experience moments where life just goes on pause. You know, I can remember when I was studying and I was waiting for my exam results and my life was on pause because I couldn't do anything. And when we're in a job or we're waiting for a promotion or an opportunity to move companies, it's where we're kind of in that, I call it the in-betwixt and in-between stage, where we're neither one place or another, we're waiting for something. It might be in a relationship where we're in limbo. So the in-between of times can be quite stressful. And so feeling stuck and yet still moving through daily life. And we're going to explore tonight what that means to live life on hold and how it impacts our mental health, our relationships, and how we navigate the pauses with strength and with purpose. So looking at our first question, Reverend Lydia, how would you personally define living life in limbo?
I would personally define it as limbo that I went through because I am a person that for 10 years was dating the same man. And it was leading nowhere, absolutely nowhere. We were supposed to get married, but it was leading nowhere, absolutely. You know, when you talk about that is a dead end. And after 2 or 3 years, he was always waiting for a promotion, whatever. There was always a reason. And I was doing things on my end, and the time was never right. So what happened is that I started to doubt myself. I started to doubt. I was in limbo in the situation. And finally, after 10 years, when he asked me to marry him, I said no. So it took so much time that actually I had realized that if it had been the right man, I would have married him long time before. So you see, sometimes limbo is good. For me, it was.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. I was nodding and feeling your experience of being in limbo in that relationship. I've certainly had relationship experiences where I've just stuck it out because I'm there in that relationship, wanting to do everything to make it work and yet realizing that I wasn't happy. And it's something that we do when we're in relationships and also in times of friendships as well. I've had friendships that have been challenging and I've thought, well, you know, they're just going through a phase or I'm just going through a phase, and we sort of forgive it, don't we? We kind of skirt past it and we make excuses. Oh, well, they're just having an off day. They're just having, sort of a bad time. And I feel that if we're in that relationship or partnership, we forgive a lot in that space of limbo, even though we know inside that we're not happy. We seem to be very forgiving and really accepting of something that's not quite right. What are your thoughts about that, Reverend Lydia? Because I think that it sort of comes across as, boundaries in terms of the fact that we accept what doesn't feel right, and yet we carry on accepting it.
You are absolutely right, because I was carrying the relationship on my shoulders. I did not feel happy. And whatever he was telling me, I was just like, it is okay. And when I always say it is okay, that means it is not okay. So if I always say everything is fine, the danger side of me is if I say it is fine, it is not fine. So someone has to know me. So I always say it is fine. And when I decide not to go to the bottom of the problem, it is because it is not fine. And I have come to not even care about the problem. I do not want to take care of the problem. It's not important to me anymore. So that is the kind of person I am.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia, for your incredible insight there and very personal share. I must admit, it's a very British-ism, and I only thought that the British do it, saying things like "I'm fine" when really they're not. So it must be a Canadian thing as well to say "I'm fine," because when somebody says in England, particularly "I'm fine," they really mean that they're not okay, and to say "I'm fine" is almost that like quick flip expression to sort of move on to the next subject. It's a flippant response, "I'm fine." And I noticed it a lot with family, that, sort of that Britishism of, it's what I would call the knee-jerk reaction to say "I'm fine." When you ask somebody, I kind of say 3 times, you ask them the second time, they go, "Yeah, I'm all right." And then you ask them the third time, you go, "No, I'm not all right." And everything pours out. Sort of, I didn't realize how close the British were with the Canadians in terms of the fact that we will say "I'm fine" when we're clearly not. So what are your thoughts in terms of some common situations that will leave people feeling stuck in whatever they're in, and yet they're still moving? And I gave a couple of examples of like waiting for exam results. That's one that came to mind straight away. Especially the summertime is when the students, the pupils, the school children are waiting for their results to come through, because they don't know, they're in limbo as to what they can do next. So have you any other thoughts in terms of when else that we might feel that our life is on hold somehow and we're in limbo, and yet the world is still moving forward?
Exactly. Just like we write books. We write books. What do? We wait to see how it will do, how our books will work, how many people will understand our subject or understand what we're talking about. So we are also, Dr. Jacqueline also suggests waiting for medical diagnosis. That is very, very important. As a nurse, I saw people that went into very serious nervous breakdowns because the wait was too long to actually get the diagnosis. They were so uncertain of what was going on. They were fine in the end, but they went through a nervous breakdown because what was happening is that the result was too long to get. So even if they were not sick, just the thought of being sick made them sick. So waiting is difficult and can take a toll on someone's health.
I'm quite in agreement with you there, Reverend Lydia, in terms of that not knowing. It's the not knowing that makes us feel very, very uncomfortable. And it could be that it's a result, as you say, that isn't terrible. Then it also could be a result that is life-changing, and it is that the diagnosis comes back, that if, especially for a terminal illness, and they're hoping that medication will work and it doesn't work, it then puts the person who has the sickness and their family into almost a second bout of living grief, that they're trying to cope with initially what they were told, and then again now they know it's terminal and there's only a short time to live. It can be very detrimental on the whole family and the people that are close in terms of the care of that family member, and siblings, parents, anybody, best friends, anybody that's around them. And the other thing that Dr. Jacqueline mentioned in the private chat in the back and backstage is waiting to sell a house. I certainly have had experience of waiting for solicitors' letters to go backwards and forwards, and waiting for the seller, waiting for the buyer to come back with all the paperwork. And that was indeed extremely stressful, because I thought I was moving and I didn't move until a month later. I almost thought that it was not going to happen. What are your thoughts on that, Reverend Lydia? Because we're old enough to have moved and to have had diagnoses and experiences of things being okay and things not being okay, and the pressure is just horrendous. What are your thoughts about the selling and buying of a house? Because I literally had to sell and buy at the same time. That was extremely stressful in terms of I was in limbo. I couldn't pack, and I didn't know what I was doing.
Well, I understand, because when I sold my house after my divorce, I sold my house, and I was so tired of waiting to sell my house because it was not selling. I was so tired that I sold for a minimal price. I was just fed up. That is all. I said, give me whatever I want, it sold. That is all. So I sold it for the price of the mortgage. I did not even want a profit. I wanted to get rid of the house. That was the only solution for me, getting rid of the house and moving on. So instead of wanting to make a profit, I wanted to move on. It was too important to me. The money was less important than actually stopping there. I had to move on. So it was important for me. So the selling of the house was something that, yes, it was in limbo for 2.5 years. And then all of a sudden I said, that is it. It's the end. This week I sell. Path. I sold.
Wow, I can so empathize with you on being in limbo with selling a house, and I took a hit on the price. I lost a lot of money. I did make a reasonable profit to buy and become mortgage free, but I did lose a lot of money just by sitting and waiting, and the market prices were coming down at the time that I was selling. And I had sounds like a very similar experience to you, where I was just waiting and I was saying goodbye, then I was still there. It was a very strange feeling of knowing that I was leaving London, but actually still being in London. And people were saying to me, I thought you were selling up, I thought you were leaving. And it was very difficult, because I had one foot in one camp and another somewhere else, and I wasn't one place or the other. Well, now we have reached our commercial break. Can you believe it? That was very quick. So we're just going to break for a very short commercial break. Please come back and join us, where we continue to explore stuck yet moving, navigating the stress of life on hold. I will see you very shortly.
Ever dreamed of hosting your own TV show, sharing your story with a global audience? Now's your chance to shine. At USA Global TV and Radio, we make it easy for you to create, host and broadcast your very own TV show. Whether you're a storyteller, entrepreneur or industry expert, we help you bring your vision to life. With our exclusive interview, live streaming and podcasting training, you'll gain the skills and confidence to captivate your audience. Our global platform ensures your voice is heard worldwide. Join our community of creators who are already making an impact, one show at a time. Step into the spotlight. Host your own TV show on USA Global TV and Radio. Book your discovery call today at usaglobaltv.com. Copyright 2025 USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit usaglobaltv.com.
Welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Our show today is A Woman's Prerogative. If you're here on the live or the replay, welcome back after our short commercial break. We have been exploring, and we have our full-time panelist, Reverend Lydia Fougeres from Canada, and we've been exploring Stuck Yet Moving, navigating the stress of life on hold. So let's welcome back our wonderful Reverend Lydia, our full-time panelist, and exploring further. We've had a riveting conversation just before the break, and I really want to dig deep and dive into the effects of the mental health effects on our relationships and our health in terms of waiting and that stressful experience of not knowing. And Dr. Jacqueline, in the private chat, she mentioned a couple of other instances, such as a big pitch going really well or a job offer going really well, and then you're waiting to hear. You can be almost on a knife edge, waiting to hear the results, especially if it's not good news, and almost feeling because you're waiting it's bad news. So how does being in limbo affect our mental health and our emotional intelligence and resilience?
Well, it does, because we can become depressed. Sometimes we can become very depressed. Dr. Jacqueline was sharing with us, so we are really lucky because she shares a lot of things with us, and we are very, very lucky. She was talking about living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, at our age, we do not live paycheck to paycheck anymore, but when we are young, it does happen, unless we have a millionaire daddy or mommy. But the thing is that when we are young and live paycheck to paycheck and have children, it is very difficult and takes a toll on us. I remember when I was working 10 days in a row, I would work 9 days, 16 hours a day to get a decent paycheck, because I was the one that was bringing the most money in the house. So I was doing that twice a month. So 18 days of 16 hours a day, all the time, plus raising 2 children, going to school, and having 2 jobs. So living paycheck to paycheck is extremely difficult and takes a toll on anyone, including the family members. So it is a very difficult thing, and it is a subject that actually we could even make a show on how difficult it is to live paycheck to paycheck.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia, for your insightful and very personal share, and really appreciate your transparency in describing that situation. And I must admit, I've not been I don't have a family of my own, children of my own, so I can't imagine what that must be like. That we always become, as a parent, I can see there's a lot of resilience in parents that are bringing up children, especially single mums on their own bringing up children, because that resilience moves them through the dynamics of being in limbo. So it's like you're stuck, and at the same time you are still moving. So what are your thoughts in terms of the physical or behavioral signs of someone who is struggling in limbo? I actually feel that they will exhibit signs of them being in limbo, living paycheck from paycheck, or waiting for a result. There will be a certain sense of that irritability, of that waiting for something to come through. What are your thoughts about that, Reverend Lydia?
Well, there is lots of disillusion. There is lots of exhaustion doing that kind of life, living that kind of life. And it is a very difficult life. And we have to thank, our higher power when we are out of that limbo. But we have to understand that there are a majority of people that live that way. And with now the global crisis, it is happening more and more and more, with the price of food, with the price of everything, shelter, mortgages. It is now a fact that people are working paycheck to paycheck, so they're in limbo and they don't see the end. There are a lot of cases of suicide. So it goes as far as committing suicide, because some people are just too exhausted to do it. So that is the way things are. And you and me, we see those people, and we have to listen very well to them, because it is not by offering a solution to them that we will help them. It is by listening to them, by knowing what they need to. They do not need to hear us. They need for us to hear them, hear their message, and find their own solution where it is possible, because we do not live their life.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Some very insightful shares there. And you're absolutely right. Looking at strategies and ways to navigate through that living life on hold is crucial to explore within this particular show, because we've explored some of the very deep-rooted situations that people will live their life on hold, either themselves, something's happening with themselves, or with family, or with their loved ones. Strategies to help and strategies to reduce that anxiety, because the anxiety is when we're stressing about future things that haven't happened. And depression, as you mentioned, Reverend Lydia, is looking at the past, wondering that what we should have done differently or better, or could we have done this, could we have done that, could we have said this? And my thoughts are that you can't, and it doesn't work if you stress and you focus on things that are out of your control. And so while you're in that in-between stage, to focus on things that you can control and that you can change. And a lot of that will be how you react and how you respond to situations. And sometimes it is about taking space, and sometimes it is about talking to someone that you trust. Do you have any thoughts to share on that, Reverend Lydia, in terms of looking at and helping people that are in that space of limbo, whatever the reason, whether it is sickness, whether it is a family member, whether it is a sibling, whether it is something that's going on in their relationship, that to move into a space of being able to cope, it's about looking at what they can do rather than what they can't do. Can you share any thoughts in terms of other things that they might be able to look at to help them through while they're living in that space of being on hold?
What they can do is get help, but not inside their circle. Because in their circle, most people are as stuck as them, or see the situation in a different way and will give them solutions that are not adapted to the problem. So I suggest that they see someone that knows about the problem, that can help them find their own solution. But the thing is that people have to know that it is not with friends, with family, or it is not with them that actually the problem will solve, because those people are part of the problem. So they have to look elsewhere. So that is when people like you and me come in and help, because we are people that we do not have an opinion. We just listen. We have no opinion whatsoever. We listen and we let them get the help that they need, and we refer them if actually that is what is needed. So you and I, what we do is the kind of work that they need. Instead of going to a family, a relative, a friend that will tell them, do this, do that, do this, do that, but they already tried. So it's just repeating. That is the way. They have to get away from all those people that tell them, do this, do that. They have to go see someone that will tell them, what do you think you should do? And trust their instinct.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Some wise words there for our audience and our viewers that are watching either on the live or the replay. My thoughts and things to share in terms of what we can do to change, because this is important in terms of recognizing that your life is on hold, is to create small goals and set small things, small rituals that you can at least achieve things by. I've just thought of a metaphor that when you see the problem as a huge elephant, it's really hard to even work out what to do first. If you do it bite size and look at small things that you can do each step towards the overall solution or the overall outcome. And also shift in perspective. We can, in Limbo, it might be a gift of space, a time for reflection, and a time that we can look at redirection or other things that we could do instead of doing what we're doing. Sometimes when we go into limbo, we're in a place where we have some space to look at what's working, what's not working. And it could be an opportunity, if you look at it that way, to shift your perspective in what you're focused on and look for other outcomes and other opportunities. What are your thoughts, Reverend Lydia? Do you have anything to share on what I've just said?
Well, what you said was perfect, but there is also signs from above, as someone actually suggested. There are signs from above, and we have to trust those signs. Some signs are very difficult to see, but I will share one that will really maybe stun. In Canada, it was minus 25 Celsius. And I saw a monarch butterfly in the snow that actually I was asking my father about the situation, and the monarch butterfly was there at minus 25 degrees, because my father used to say If you need me, I will come in the form of a butterfly. So my problem was solved. I had my sign. So I know that signs from above are very important and we can trust them. But we have to look and see and believe in ourselves and our potential. We have power. We really are powerful beings. I always say we're all masters in becoming.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Wow, what a powerful way to end our conversation. And we're now in that space of making sure that people know how to reach us and the best way to contact us. Please do share, Reverend Lydia, the best way to reach you and how to contact you.
They can reach me at 1-514-582-6882 on WhatsApp or text me. I always answer. I'm in Canada Eastern Time. They can write to me at greatdivinemother@gmail.com, or I have my Facebook page, my personal Facebook page. I will answer, no problem. And my website, lydiafougeres.com. They can actually also buy my books on Amazon, 111 Reflections for Thy Earth Odyssey. They are in French, English, and Spanish. I have tomes 1 and 2. Those are self-reflections for them to actually work on themselves. So thank you very much for sharing with me.
Thank you, Reverend Lydia. Before we end, please do share with our viewers your next episode. Is it this week? I believe you've got an episode on Wednesday. Please do share with our viewers your next episode, your second episode of your new show.
Yes, my second episode actually is about love. So what I do is that I will explain to people how actually I can help mend a broken heart, how I do that, because I do work with the energy, so I help mend broken hearts. I will explain also everything about the perfect mate incense that I have created something like 12 years ago. And I will also talk about the miracle mist, because we always say it's patent pending, but I will explain the miracle mist that elevates situations. So I will explain in French, and there will be a translation on my show. So thank you very much. Wednesday at 2:00.
Thank you very much, Reverend Lydia, and I wish you all the best for your second episode. It's wonderful that you're serving our French community in their native language. For me, I'm known as the Harley Street Stress Expert, and you can find me, you can email me on nomorestress@live.co.uk, or you can reach out and call me if you're international, +44. If you're local, 07523 120 189. You can follow me and connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you very much, Dr. Jacqueline, in the background with all the whizzy effects, on LinkedIn and Facebook. And I answer any messages on LinkedIn and Facebook. And also, if you wish, you can drop a message on the YouTube video of this particular show. I offer a free initial consultation and a very, very competitively priced 1-hour introductory session. So in closing, life on hold doesn't mean life is over. Even in limbo, find some small steps, new perspectives, moments of connection will keep us moving forward. May we all remember the in-between can be a place, not just of waiting, but a place of transformation. While we wait for the change to happen, are we missing out on life that's here already? Today's topic, stuck yet moving, navigating the stress of life on hold. It is something that many of us experience in life at different times. I hope that we have given you some inspiration and some things that you can do that will help you moving forward when your life is on hold. Thank you very much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week on Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time and 7 p.m. British Summer Time. Please do download our app on USA Global TV and Radio and be part of the global family, bringing hope, education, inspiration through storytelling. Available on Amazon, Fire, Roku, Android, Apple TV, TikTok, X, and many, many more. Thank you so much to our wonderful full-time panelists, Reverend Lydia Fougeres, and our wonderful executive producer and owner of this beautiful channel, USA Global TV and Radio, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. And thank you to all of our viewers who have joined us either on the live or the replay. Bye-bye for now, and stay tuned.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradioshoп.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting. We're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.